Hello, welcome. So glad you're here. As we digest the decade, part three, for part one, we did physical environment, and we had a little practice that accompanied that, working with the lower regions, the first, second, and third chakras, getting some space in the whole digestive tract to create more space in the physical environment. And last week we did a little bit of starting with the emotional mental space. So all that invisible space inside of ourselves that gets really cluttered. It's interesting. I was just having a conversation with a friend the other day. It's like, how can I just stop all this noise in my head? I said, well, first of all, you should check out the subscription series and check out the Digest the Decade series. But that being an aside, I said, don't just take pressure off yourself. Don't worry about knowing how to meditate. Don't worry about trying to get your mind clear all at once. It's like if you have a huge garage or a huge closet full of stuff, don't think, oh my God, how am I going to deal with all this at once? It's bite by bite, step by step. So remember, as we do this process, that just doing one thing might be enough. That might be it for the day. It's just chunk away piece by piece. And as we clear our mental, emotional space, thought by thought, perception by perception, as we reframe our life frame by frame, basically rewriting the story, rewriting the movie, rewriting how we see what the world is giving us, what the world is offering us. When we change the way we see the information coming in, change our response to the sensorial input that we receive, we become way more free, freer, clearer, able to see a bigger picture, able to take things less personally. And as we move into spaces like that, we find that those spaces provide us with a lot of freedom, because those spaces are very spacious. So last time we did some of the clearing and the questions of the emotional and mental space. I suggested that you had some fun time playing and drawing and dancing and writing out some of the ideas that we talked about. And this week, we'll talk a little bit about going a little bit deeper. So last time we had you look at without using your calendars or anything as prompts, just like what were your big moments of your last 10 years, what happened. And now the research assignment in your physical life will be to dig deeper, like look through your calendars perhaps, and notice, how did you spend your time? How many vacations did you take or didn't you take? Where did you go? How did you like your vacations? Did you pick vacations that were nourishing for you? Did you leave feeling drained, or did you leave feeling nourished? How much did your business grow? How much did your career evolve? How were your relationships? How did they change? And then just take a quick glance, or not quick, take as long as you want, of how your routine stayed the same over the last decade. Or did it change? What was the same or different in your routine than it was 10 years ago? And how do you feel about that? Are the things that you're doing now that you were doing 10 years ago still working for you? And if so, yay, keep doing them. And if not, just have that on the plate to consider. So as we go digger, as we dive deeper, as we dig deeper, just notice if there's any other milestones you'd like to add to that milestones list that you made before. And make a note, for those that didn't come to mind first, does that reveal anything to you? Like, why weren't they in the forefront of your mind? It might or might not mean anything, but just something to consider. So the next assignment for digging deeper, after we've kind of gone through the calendars, is I'm inviting you to look through your holiday letters, your correspondence, your journals, and just look for any recurring themes. Did any themes evolve? Did any themes stay the same? What themes grew? What themes were resolved? What themes popped up? What themes are you hoping to resolve or still have yet to be resolved? And then for each of those major things that interest you, you can do it for as many or as few as you want. List the actions that you've done to resolve each theme. And for each action, what was the result? And then how did you respond to the result? Because that's where we get to really digest and assimilate and embody that change to see, did we like it? Because if we liked it, we'll be motivated to do more. If we didn't, if it didn't have as much juice or impact or inspiration for us, then we probably won't continue. And so just take a look at that. And the other thing I'm going to invite, because we talked a little bit about the vestibular system, is to think about the tone. We'll go into that a little bit more later, but just notice the tone of your journals, the tone of your writing, and what resonates with you as your authentic voice then, and does it still resonate with you as your authentic voice now, or was it back then authentic, or where was it coming from? All right, so going with the idea of tone, we're going to move into the vestibular system, do a little bit of a vestibular practice today to create space, because the vestibular system is about the space. And I like to think of it as the space in my head, and as the space in my head between my ears, all this space in here. As this space opens up, how does that space inform the rest of my body space? And then how does, of course, my being in my body space inform the rest of the space around me? As I clear out my body space, clear out my mental, emotional space inside of me, how does that inform and resolve or change or affect my daily life? So from there, let's go ahead and come to our mats. And we'll just start today with our feet together, or sit a little bit hips distance apart, arms over the head, hands in reverse lock, stretch over the head. And inhale all the way down to the pelvic floor, and exhale, continue to drain out to the bottoms of your feet. Once again, inhale. Exhale all the way, drain down to the bottoms of the feet. Inhale, take the body over to the side. Exhale down all the way to the bottoms of the feet. Inhale all the way into the side body, all the way down to the pelvic floor, to the bottoms of the feet. And exhale, continue to drain out down the bottoms of the feet. Inhale up. Exhale, float the arms down. And take your feet into hips distance apart, and take a moment to stand your feet. Notice, where do you feel more space? Where do you feel clutter? You feel space in your muscles. You feel space in your head. You feel space in your bones. You feel space in your fluids. You feel space in your nerves, in your fat, in your skin, in your organs, or somewhere else. Maybe it's around you or through you. Feet back together if you're choosing that posture. Clasp the hands normally and then go, whoops, do the other way, so it'll feel weird. At least it does to me. Arms over the head. Inhale. Exhale all the way. Inhale all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. And continue, as you exhale, continue that down into the earth. So creating a channel for drainage. Good, and inhale, body over to the side. You can breathe into any part you like, whatever feels like, oh, that could use more space. Instead of feeling like you're stretching, even though it might feel like you're stretching, see if you can just ask yourself to invite more space into your being. Exhale, eliminating any of that low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's easy to clear out for right now. We'll take it, you know, if you've got a lot going on in your mind, a lot going on in your emotions, just letting go of anything. Let's just say, yeah, hashtag acknowledge it. Let's take it. Inhale up. Exhale, float the arms down. Take a moment. Great. So go ahead and place your thumbs back on that bone behind your ear like we did vestibular, and the fingers right about on your temples. And as we're standing this time, just really feel your head supported between your fingers gently, and then just gently feel that sense of space your ear, the little inner ear bones. And just feel your head supported. I mean, for me, that really helps to close my eyes so I don't have so much visual sensory. Ears came before eyes developmentally, so as I get into my ears, it's like my eyes weren't there yet. So allow myself to just feel that head rolling around, just so super small, talking really small bones. And as I allow myself to feel that sense of where am I? How do I know where I am? With that sense of space, move down the back, down the front, down the sides, all the way into my pelvis, into my legs. And release the arms to the side and just take a moment to feel. We'll start today with a few sliding glides. So take your legs wide. Rotate your right foot out, left foot in. L's in your hip creases, which is here, not up at your waist. Inhale. And then exhale, slide. Bend the leg into warrior two. Inhale up. And then exhale, Trikonasana legs. Only about sliding, gliding with the pelvis right now. And as we slide and glide, exhale down, inhale up. You can do it on your own timing or follow me. Exhale over and inhale up. So that sense of my vestibular system up here as a pelvis in my head, relating to the pelvis in my pelvis. So I'm feeling my head, my pelvic head relating to my hips, and my hips relating to my pelvic head. So how do those little inner ear bones move into my sit bones or my pelvic halves? Going deeper as you open, but not forcing it, just really allowing the space to take you. So as the space opens up, your body moves further, perhaps, but definitely safer in that I'm supported. And I'm not fighting what's in my space. I am supported by my space. What's not in my space gives me room to explore more. Do one more round. We've done quite a few of these. And then come on up. Walk the feet together. Take a moment. And just notice with that spacious idea, how's that changed you? I mean, I feel really asymmetric right now. And legs wide again. Rotate the other leg out from, you might be your left. You follow my direction. You can also start on any leg you like. It's just up to you to keep track. Inhale. Exhale and feeling, just checking with the vestibular. Be very gentle when you just don't jam, like I did. Just, it's really gentle, just there on the bone there and here. Just feel, get back into that vestibular if you've lost it, because I blurted out there. Inhale, exhale, bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend at the pelvis. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend at the knee and ankle. Inhale, up. Exhale, bending at the pelvis. Feeling my pelvic head relate to my pelvis. Finding that connection in the bones of my inner ear. Resonating, vibrating into the bones of my pelvis. To eventually vibrate down into the bones of my legs, into the bones of my feet. Feeling the space in my bones. Housing the space in my bones, which house that vibration. Or perhaps the vibration houses the bones. whatever your experience is. It's perfect. Great, we'll do one more round. Feeling more and more spacious as we go. And come on up. Walk the feet together, stand. I like to close my eyes here and just feel that spaciousness. Where do you feel more space? Bones, muscles, organs, fluids, skin, fat, nerves, around me, in me. How is my mental space, my emotional space? As I look around the room now, no matter what room you're in, whether you love the room you're in or don't love the room you're in, what's your relationship to the space in this room? Can you find a new relationship with the space around you that resonates with the space inside of you? Great, let's take the legs wide again. Rotate your right foot out, left foot in. Inhale, exhale, bend the front leg into warrior two. And now inhale, exhale, take the body over to side angle. And inhale up to warrior two. And then inhale to reverse warrior. And back over. Now, if this is a lot, it might be, it might not be. Just take a few rounds. You can always leave your arms out of it. And now just leave your arms out of it and place them back onto the vestibular. And now take it smaller and up. So really it's the inner ear bones that are initiating this movement. It's the inner ear bones that are resonating, that are vibrating. Resonance down maybe into my pelvis. Maybe somewhere else. Where's your resonance today? And then stay over. Side angle pose. So have your hand on your little vestibular on one side. And then take that arm over the head. Rotate the palm and slide it down. Release the arm down. Reverse it. Take it over the head. Reverse over the head. Palm facing down. Rotate to the palm. Just rotate your palm around here. Palm down to the hip. Let the neck go now. Allow that sense of the resonance in the skull bones, in the inner ear bones. Straighten that front leg into triangle pose if you like. Hand can be on a block here, on your shin, on your foot, on your ankle, on the floor. I don't care if it's behind or in front of your foot, if your foot hand is on the floor. And feel that connection between the hand, which is resting on your hip, as if someone was petting you all the way from your ear, all the way down your arm. Petting you from your ear all the way down your arm, into your leg. So we're really connecting the ear bones with your pelvis and your leg. Feel that space, that resonance is in that connection. From here, put energy in the hand that's on your thigh. Inhale, blow that balloon up, put space in there to bring you up. And then walk the feet together. And take a moment and notice what's changed in there for you. Beautiful. Take the legs wide again, other side. Rotate your left foot out, right foot in. And that front leg into warrior two legs. Inhale over into side angle pose. Exhale back into warrior two. And then inhale, reverse. Take a couple plane. Back to warrior two. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Place your hands on your little vestibular. Take a couple small ones now. Can I find the space inside of me? Can I find that space to support my resonance, to house my resonance? Clearing space. I'm going to take it over. Side angle pose. Slide that arm over the head. Rotate the palm to the ceiling. Put down. And then rotate it the other way. If you have some rotations here, just play with the shoulder a little bit. Play with the resonance in whatever bones you'd like to play with. And take the arm down eventually to the hip. Let the neck go if it feels comfortable for you. Of course, you don't have to. Breathing, feeling that sense of resonance. My ears, it's heading all the way from my ear to my shoulder, to my arm, to my hip. Feel that resonance. Hip moves into the legs, which moves into the earth, which is another kind of bone. Straighten the front leg if you like, into triangle pose without the top arm. The idea of not having that top arm is so you can really feel that ear connection all the way down into the pelvis, all the way down into the leg. And notice what that does to your inner and outer spaces. Again, I'm not trying to stretch here. I'm not trying to do anything. My whole intention is to be present with my space, to be present with the space and get curious, to see where do I feel resonance. Filling up the hand that's on the hip. Inhale. Fill that with space to bring you all the way up. Walk the feet together. And stand, close eyes, and just notice your inner and outer spaces here. All right, so from here, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bend, soften, and sink into chair pose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind, open collarbones. Exhale, cascade forward, bend the legs. Release the arms down. Inhale, float up. To chair, exhale, soften, sink deeper if you can. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, float the arms down. We'll do two more of those. Just float the arms up. Exhale, soften, sink to chair. Inhale, up. Exhale, clasp hands behind, open collarbones. Exhale. What am I doing? Let's start over. Inhale up. Exhale, soften, sink to chair. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind, open collarbones. Inhale. Exhale, cascade forward, chair pose. Release the arms down. Inhale up to chair. Exhale, soften and sink all the way back up. And exhale, arms down. Tune into the vestibular. Find that sense of space. Final round. Inhale, float arms up. Exhale, feel the inner ear bones relating to the pelvis. Inhale, back up. Arms packed behind you. Feel the inner ear bones relating to the pelvis as you inhale, open the collarbones. As my inner ear bones change, how does my pelvis change? Exhale, bend the legs, cascade forward. Release the arms down. Inhale, float up. Feel my inner ear bones relating to my pelvis. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale, so just stay there. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Feel the rotation of those inner ear bones now. You're free to open the arms if you like. Release back to prayer pose hands. Come back to the center, inhale. Softening in that vestibular area. Exhale, twist to the other direction. Inhale. Exhale. Resonance. Stay here, keep your breath going. Letting the breath guide you and support you into finding more space, or experiencing more space, or remembering more space. If you like, open the arms. Let that be a help and a natural expansion and progression of your pose instead of forcing it. Some days opening the arms doesn't feel so great or doesn't feel authentic or like the next step. So if that's not your next step today, then just stay with the hands in prayer pose. You might not even be crossed over. You might have your elbow between your knees. And then inhale back to chair all the way up. Float the arms down. Take a moment and stand and feel. I'm going to move my mat now. You may do the same. Because the sticky mat isn't going to help. It's time to go off the page. So go ahead and place your hands back in the vestibular, call it a mudra for now. Bend the legs as if you were in chair pose, and take the legs a little bit wide, and just start to move your pelvis, or this lateral pelvic shift. So I'm not moving up or down here. I'm moving directly across, like if I had magic markers here on my hip bones, they would just go side to side. I'd be making a straight line on the wall. Now feel my vestibular system as how can that perhaps inform my side, my pelvic shift to the side. Good. Let's just leave that for now. We're going to come back to that. Just wanted to get that moving in your body. Now take your right foot on the tip on the force arch there. So I'm on the ball of my foot. Arms over the head. And I'm going to press into the ball. I'm still away from the microphone. Press into the ball of my foot. Push up to the toe, press into the ball of the foot, and then go to the flat. So ball of the foot, up to the toe, ball of the foot, and to the flat. Now if you've got shoulder stuff going on, hands on the hips is fine. Got shoulder and neck, or you can keep your hands on your vestibular. So whatever's going to feel satisfying for you. And now, one more time, ball of the foot, and I'm pressing as I lift to the toe, and I'm going to lift it up, and now I'm bending my standing ankle. And just letting now, I'm just going to let that gesturing or the leg that's off the floor kind of wiggle around in the hip socket. Straighten my standing leg and place my foot down. Take a moment. Great. Arms over the head if you like, or change the reverse lock. So I'm coming up onto my left foot now, ball of the foot, up to the toe, pressing into the floor, ball of the foot, and down. I am a little active here. I am pressing, and the press makes me come up. So heels on the floor, ball of the foot now, heels up. From the side, it looks like this. So I'm coming up to the ball of the foot, pressing to the toe, ball of the foot, back down. I'm using the ball of the foot to press, so my heel comes up because I'm pressing. Toe comes up because I'm pressing, down. Press, press. Okay, let's keep facing the front again, keep going. Vestibular. Where am I? How do I know where I am? Sense of presence, sense of directionality. What direction am I going? All right, so it's up there. Now, relax the foot if you like. Bend that standing leg, standing ankle, and then allow yourself to feel that thigh bone roll, just flopping around in that hip socket. Can I feel that sense of my inner ear, those inner ear bones resonating with my pelvis bones? Straighten the front leg, come back, and arms down. Great. So now we'll take those shifts again, side to side, or vestibular. See if it feels any different. I'm moving backwards a little bit here. So we're going to go side, and then we'll move to the front, and then side. So I'm going to take my foot to the side, and go other foot to the front, and go directly back, and then go back to the side. So making a little L. Here's one side of the L, up, L, maybe it's more of a T. Anyway, side, front, and I'm going to go back and return to home. Side, pelvic to the front, return to back, return to home. One more time this direction, side to the front, return to back, return to home. Side and side and side. Now we'll go side, the other direction. So the other foot, side, now front, go back, return to home. Other side, front, back, and home. So it's side, to the front, to the back, home, side, front, back, home, and again, side, front, back, once more, side, front, back, home, and this is our going to go side to side. So let's just say that this is your left foot. Go to the front and back. Now you're going to go to the diagonal, front diagonal, and back to home. Now directly to the side, back to home. To the back diagonal, back to home, directly back, back to home. Let's reverse the whole thing starting to the back. Directly back, back to home, back diagonal, back to home, to the side, back to home, front diagonal, back to home, directly front, back to home, and moving side to side. I can put my arms down now because I'm quite tired there. And I'm feeling that vestibular, my inner ear bones. Great. Let's come to standing. Starting now with your other foot, which might be your right foot. To the front, right, front, back to home. Right front diagonal, back to home. Directly to the right side, back to home. Back right diagonal, back to home. Directly back, back to home. Let's start to the back. Directly back, back to home, back diagonal, back to home, directly side, back to home, front diagonal, back to home, directly front, back to home. And just take a couple sides. And then come to standing. And from here, allow yourself to move into a downward facing dog pose. Notice the difference now in your down dog. Feeling your vestibular system as you turn yourself upside down here. Seeing what happens if you take your leg up into the sky, open it up like we did in the last practice, and play around. For some of you, you may want to flip. And come back, feeling the inner ear bones. Let's take some play, some downward facing dog play here. And then come back to down dog. Feel the resonance inside, that steadiness inside. Other leg up, opening. Can flip it if you like, if you're motivated or inspired to. And flip it back if you want. A little down dog play of your own choosing. And you turn. Now come on to plank. Pour the weight into your left hand, lifting the right up into side plank. Stack the feet. Any variation of side plank you like. Grab that big toe, stretch it on up if you want. From your vestibular system, from the inner ear bones, come back to plank. Let that roll you over into side plank. Roll you back into plank. You may either take a chaturanga up dog, down dog here, or slide back to down dog, or come to child's pose. If you're in child's pose, come back to down dog. Walk your feet and hands together for Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, feeling the reverse now. My pelvis is on top of my ear pelvis. Roll up. For some of you, you're done. Go to Shavasana. For others, if you just happen to have a wall nearby, this would be a really fun time to take your vestibular system and just go on up and see what happens to the wall. See if you can find the inner ear bones now to support that sense of space. Two inner ear bones. Coming back up. Feeling as you turned yourself upside down, the infinite possibilities of what you've got inside of you. Let's go ahead and go to the floor for Shavasana. Now just close your eyes and have a sense of that space inside of you. As you feel that vestibular system bone that we played with in the head rest on the floor. So feel that pelvis in your head. resting on the floor, opening, widening, as if it were the pelvis in your pelvis. And now feel that space in your pelvis, resonating with the space in your inner ear bones. Feel that space between your inner ear bones, the vestibular system, and your pelvis. And remember that our vestibular mechanism is our inner ear. It's also the proprioceptors in our bones, joints, ligaments, and muscles that tell us, where am I? It reminds us of where we are in space. It tells us that yes, we are moving through space. This vestibular tone informs us of relationships, the relationship of our body parts to one another. It registers body tone, hyper or hypotone. It registers that relationship to the gravitational pull and fluid pressure of our body. Our vestibular system registers change in velocity, how fast or slow we are going. It registers patterns of movement sequencing, how I move through my day, how I move into something, how I move away from something. It also registers the movement around us, what's happening in our environment. It also registers the tone of social contact and communications. How has your body tone changed over the course of this practice? Over the last 10 years? When we talk of body tone, hypertone would be having more work, more tension, more tone going on than is needed for that moment to do what you need to do. Hypotone, or lack of tone, or less tone. Hypotone versus hypertone. Hypotone is not having enough tone to do what you need to do. And balanced tone would be to have the right amount of tone to do what it is you need to do. Be who it is you need to be, you want to be. As you think about your tone now, has your tone changed or stayed the same over the last 10 years? Do you sound like the same person? What language phrases do you hear that resonate positively with you now? Negatively? What speech patterns still support you? Or has your current reality and worldview outgrown your current speech patterns? Do you recognize a dominant emotional tone? For right now, for present moment. Has that tone changed or evolved over the last 10 years? What was your dominant emotional tone 10 years ago? Is it the same or different? And what's changed? And what stayed the same? As I work with my vestibular system, can I find a place to explore tone, to explore space, to explore resonance? And take a deep breath in and release. And gently wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit, finding the edges of your brand new physical body. When you're ready, slowly roll onto one of your sides into a loose fetal position. And eventually push yourself up into a comfortable seated position for a short meditation. You start by just gently rolling, so subtly, feeling your inner ear bones inside. That space all the way down to your pelvis, all the way down to your legs. Ignite a light Ujjayi breath, letting the sound of that breath fill that sensation of hearing and resonance. So half close the back of your throat. Inhale and exhale, making a sound. And let the sound of that Ujjayi fill you with whatever tone you would like more of in your current reality, whether it's confidence, self-love, radiance, non-judgment, forgiveness, whatever your current desire is, what you'd like more of. And as you exhale, continuing to fill yourself with that tone, let's say it's confidence. Allow all that is not confident in you just be blown away, gently released out into the universe, where something else will use that which is not confident. It will not go to waste, and it will not go to harm. One or two more rounds of Ujjayi. And then without the sound of your breath, can you hear your tone? What is the dominant tone in your body? What is the dominant tone in your heart? What is the dominant tone in your mind? And what is the dominant tone in your external environment? Now, sitting back in all four, body, heart, mind, and external environment. Is there another tone that is more dominant than any of those? What tone would you like to bring to your life and your day today? And what tone can you bring to your life and your day today? When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Exhale, release chin to chest. To seal the practices, go ahead and rub your palms together. And go ahead and rub your face, the back of your head, your ears, neck, shoulders, just all your skin. Touch as much as your body as you can. Acknowledge your whole self, your whole being, your whole space around you. As my shirt says, I'm odd. Yes, I am odd, but I'm also odd. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. It's truly my honor and my privilege. I'm odd. Namaste.